Happy Saturday, foodie friends and grain-free VIPs. This is Nina Blake, the grain-free lifestyle coach, coming to you live from my kitchen in Oakdale, Connecticut. I'm so glad that you could be here with me today. As you are coming on and being notified that I'm live, if you could please say hello, drop an emoji in the chat, and that way I can make sure to reach out and thank you for spending time with me this weekend. It means so much that we can spend time together and that I can help you level up your grain-free lifestyle, because you shouldn't have to do this on your own, and it's way too much work for me to do this and not share it with you. If you are watching the replay, would you please like, share, and subscribe and help others discover this episode? All right, so today's topic is how can I eat like normal if I'm avoiding grains and other allergens? Oh my goodness, this is the big idea. This is exactly what we want. We want to be eating like normal while still avoiding grains and allergens. And for every person, that's going to mean something different. Why? Because many of us have different allergies. Most of us in this group are grain-free or gluten-free, maybe eat 1 or 2 grains and avoid other allergens. So first thing we need to do, right, is figure out what our safe foods are. There's no reason to give up your veggies and dip if all you need is a dip. Maybe it's a good time to discover a new dip, or maybe it's the right time to break the recipe and add a dip that you enjoy back to your table. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm so passionate about this, because helping families avoid grains and allergens without sacrificing flavor and variety so that they can share meals together is my passion. But I promise I'm going to be organized because I want to be respectful of your time and I want you to be able to get the most out of this episode. So, first thing you want to figure out is what is your normal. My normal is I need a breakfast that is quick and ready to go. I have 15 minutes for breakfast in the morning. Maybe you have more time, maybe you have less time. Maybe for you, breakfast is pancakes once a week. Your normal. Decide what your normal is, right? Then you're gonna put that normal together. What do you already have that is working? So if your normal is veggies and dip with your family, and you've already got your favorite veggie platter, keep using it. And you've got the beautiful veggies that everybody loves to share together, keep doing it. It's just that dip. Okay, change the dip. What do you mean? Is there another dip that everybody could share together? Could you put both out? Or are you ready to break the recipe and add your favorite dip back to your table? Now, you've heard me say before, everybody deserves pizza and cake on their birthday. And I say it so much because I believe it. You may or may not know I am a former foster parent. In my last residence, my first husband and I, we parented 2 foster children. We loved them deeply. They could not stay with us forever for various reasons. One of the children had food allergies. And so when it came time for a birthday party, this young lady was very, very sad because she had been doing so great with avoiding her food allergies, and now it was time for her birthday. And we had safe treats and whatnot, but she really wanted to slice into cake. And her allergies were very similar to mine, not as extensive, but she also couldn't have chocolate. So for her, we made a birthday cake that was made without gluten, grain, dairy, egg, soy, corn, almond, cashew, sesame, nightshade, and without chocolate. And we were able to do that because of my background. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't. It means that I'm going to help you build that background so that you can do it too for your family. I have not been to culinary school. They don't teach this stuff in culinary school. If they did, I would have signed up a long time ago and I'd be encouraging you. But they don't teach this because not even professional chefs can do this. And if you're like, what do you mean? It's that kind of unusual. but it doesn't mean that we have to be stuck with a slice of watermelon on our birthday. You've seen my birthday cakes, the birthday cake with the silky chocolate frosting, the strawberry shortcake, the salted caramel chocolate dream cake, right? These are all things that you can enjoy with your family. And if you're ready for the recipes, would you please put recipes in the comments? And we're going to talk more about that in a second. This is what I teach my clients to do. I teach them to add their family recipes back to their table. And I'm giving a shout out to Karen, who made a beautiful donut tower for her son today. Karen, I hope you know how proud of you I am, because like, that is my dream, for every parent in our group to be able to do what you did for your son, to be able to give them their family traditions without sacrificing. I'm so proud of you, Karen. I want to keep this simple and comprehensible, because I remember, I will never forget how overwhelming it is to be avoiding grains and allergens. So we're going to talk about 3 ways that we can eat like normal. The first is with recipes. The second is with knowledge. And the third is with techniques. And you're like, Nina, that sounds like gibberish. Take that deep breath. Recipe, knowledge, and techniques. Okay. Now, recipes. There are some recipes that are ready to go. Maybe you found a recipe on a food blog. Could be breakerecipe.com, could be somewhere else, and it suits your family's needs directly, and you are good to go. Run with that recipe. And there are other recipes that need to be broken to suit your needs. What do I mean? I'm going to give you a little advanced preview. These are my lectin-free, grain-free, allergy-friendly rolls. It's my first break this week, okay? So I took a bread recipe of mine and I broke the recipe so that I could make it without lectins. Okay, so what do we mean when we say break a recipe? We mean you're gonna take out everything that doesn't work for you, and using knowledge and technique, add back to your recipe so that you get the results you're craving. So just keep this yummy roll in mind, and in a little bit we'll cut it and we'll toast it. But so right now we have 2 categories of recipes. The recipes that are ready to go and the recipes that are ready to be broken so you can add them back to your table. These could be family recipes. Around the holidays, I usually talk about my Christmas Eve, my Italian Feast of the 7 Fishes, where my family has been so supportive and we've broken those recipes so that we can all share them together. The holy grail of holidays that we can all share together. Our family has been enjoying these recipes for more than 100 years. So it's a treasured celebration for us. So we've talked about recipes. Now we need to talk about knowledge. Whoa, how do ingredients work? How do they work together, more importantly? What are grains? What are grain-free ingredients? Where do hidden grains hide? Why? Because you don't want to do what I did in my first year of being grain-free. You don't want to be baking for 6 months with a baking mix that you think is grain-free, only to find out that every time you have cinnamon rolls that you've baked, your body goes crazy because of the what in the baking mix? The sorghum. I didn't know sorghum was a grain. Nobody taught me. Wouldn't it be nice if somebody said, honey, you have a grain allergy, here's a list of grains. Honey, you have a grain allergy. Here's a list of hidden grains that you might want to look for in food. They didn't do that for me, but it's what I've created, I put together, and so now I can share that with my VIPs to help keep them safe, to help them avoid allergens. So we need to know our grains, we need to know our grain-free ingredients, we need to know where hidden grains are, and we need to know how ingredients work together. Okay, and if it's all right with you, I'm going to give you a little bit of an example. When I was developing my egg replacer, I needed to know how eggs work. So I had to research that. I had to gain the knowledge first. And I learned that eggs do a lot in food. They add moisture, they add protein, they emulsify, meaning they keep foods from separating, and they add lift. No wonder the egg replacers that I had tried using weren't working. Okay, so what am I gonna do? Moisture, I'll replace that with coconut milk. Protein, I was using chickpea at the time. Let me try some chickpea flour. That worked okay. Now I gotta emulsify. Well, xanthan gum goes in to emulsify to keep it from separating. And then what about the lift? Baking soda, cream of tartar gives it lift. But it wasn't working because I needed to use a technique. Now, what's a technique? A technique is what we do and when we do it. Simple, right? What we do, when we do, and how we do. So with my egg replacer, we absolutely need to add chickpea, right? We're gonna add it with the wet ingredients. Okay, even though it's dry, it's taking the place of egg, so we add it with the wet ingredients. How do we do it? How long do we develop that? And then, how do we keep the lift in? Well, we add the ingredients in two parts. We add the coconut milk and we add the chickpea flour and the xanthan gum, right? Before we add the cream of tartar and the baking soda, which means that we develop the xanthan gum in order to allow it to hold the lift. And that's how we get that lift that is just like eggs. And you're like, Nina, you're talking a lot of food nerd stuff. How do we eat? Perfect. We're going back to the recipes, right? Because when we have knowledge and we look at a recipe that needs to be broken, then we can say, oh, I know what I need to do in this recipe. I need to use this egg replacer in place of eggs, and here's how I'm going to do it. And you've broken the recipe. You're like, it can't be that simple. It often is. Now, if you are someone who wants to start and who wants to do this step by step, I don't want you to struggle like I did, because I've been at this for 12 years, and let me tell you, some of those years included way more tears than I would like. Okay, if you are someone who wants to get started quickly, who wants to help their child eat safely and quickly, right? And doesn't want to break recipes. You can learn to break recipes later. If you want to start with recipes that will help you and your family avoid grains and the allergens you're avoiding, then I want you to put fast track in the comments. Because what I'm teaching in my signature program, Grain-Free Fast Track, I'm going to give you 13 cooking classes. Actually, 14, because when you enroll before Memorial Day weekend, I'm giving you my donuts class as well. So those of you who have been looking at my donuts class, it is a bonus class in Fast Track program now. Okay, so what comes in Fast Track? Muffins. I'm going to teach you to make muffins, egg-free egg rounds, pancakes, chicken nuggets, fast mac and cheese, pasta bolognese, cheeseburger casserole. I'm actually having that tonight. Okay, simple salmon and cilantro, ranch meatloaf, sweet ginger chicken, my sandwich bread, my white pizza with the nice stretchy mozzarella that everybody goes crazy over, and my meal prep magic class, where I'm going to teach you to make 5 meals, 5 dinners in less than 2 hours, plus the chocolate donuts class. So if you are interested in that and you want to learn to do what my amazing clients like Karen have done, I want you to put Fast Track in the comments, okay? So we've been talking about recipes, knowledge, and techniques, and how that can help us eat like normal. Now, those recipes that I just mentioned, muffins, egg rounds, pancakes, chicken nuggets, fast mac and cheese, pasta bolognese, cheeseburger casserole, my chocolate donuts, and I just posted a chocolate glaze recipe today, I know. Simple salmon and cilantro pizza, those are all in my VIP recipe box, ready and waiting for you as a grain-free VIP. Now let's talk techniques. I told you techniques are what we do, when we do it, how we do it, right? So we looked at my egg replacer. We looked at the 4 functions of eggs and how I did that. Let's think about your normal. You might be like Karen, whose normal is a donut tower on their birthday. I have never heard of that. I think it is amazing. I want to see everyone's donut towers because it's going to be all the rage in our group, because why not? Who wouldn't want a donut tower on their birthday? Oh my goodness, right? Maybe your tradition is that for birthdays, you have a dinner of appetizers, or you let your birthday kid pick their birthday dinner every year. How wonderful would that be, right? Well, then I want to teach you to break that recipe, and together we are going to look at that recipe together. And in Fast Track, I walk you through breaking that recipe with my recipe breaking guide. So I teach you to evaluate a recipe, replace the ingredients so you and your family can eat like normal again. I've got 5 spots. I want you to be able to eat like normal again and get the donuts class. So put Fast Track in the chat so I can reach out to you. I believe that you can do this. You can eat like normal again while avoiding grains and allergens, and you don't need a PhD to do it. Why? Because the possibilities are endless when you break a recipe.